Hey, all, welcome back. It is that time of year again when we have to start putting out our top of the year lists.
I feel like we just did this.
I know. And I looked at the schedule. Good thing I looked this morning when I was going over some paperwork and other things I had to get done. I started looking at the schedule and I started mapping it out. I was like, Trent, I texted him. I was like, if we don't start doing them this week, we're not going to get them done.
Yeah, and this month's a little different, I think, than last year because the live stream is actually next Friday, not the following Friday, because it's 2 days after Christmas, and then the following Wednesday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So not this Friday, but the next Friday after that.
Correct. Yeah, we're going to be blinding the best of all the lists. I don't remember how we did it last
I
time.
know, but we'll figure it out. I don't either, but I don't remember quite. But that'll be fun. That'll be a good time.
Also, we apologize. There's like nothing down here right now. We're kind of preparing to do some flooring here.
Yep.
Tomorrow, so
Yeah,
it's pretty barren.
It's getting bare bones over here, which is a good thing. Right?
Yeah.
We're finally making some sincere progress here, and I can't be more thrilled, and I guarantee your mom is probably over the moon about it.
Oh, I bet she is.
She's tired of it. She's tired of all this down here for sure. Trent and I, we just come out here and do our thing. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So as of I think the first time we did the list, like the top five or whatever we did in like 2019 or something, we did the most disappointing.
Yeah, we did.
And we're going to continue that because there were some this year that were extremely disappointing, whether it be for taste, price, like the hype or whatever around it.
Yeah.
And
various reasons. And when we went into this, we were going to stick with 5, but Trenton just couldn't seem to do that. So I think we have 7.
We have 7, yeah. And when I texted Kurt, I had like 15 of them on there.
He did. It was like a big. I was like, wait, what? The text was this long on my phone.
So I had to go through and like kind of prune them down and say, okay, which one of these are like I'm disappointed in, but they're not like the worst of the worst that kind of came out this year.
Right.
So kind of prune them down a little bit, and we're gonna get started probably with one of the more controversial.
Hey, and let me just say this before the video continues. That's how Trenton rolls. A bit controversial.
And
he doesn't mind it, but it's his opinion. Remember, as always, if you have a difference of opinion and you like, for whatever reason, anything that we're displaying here today, we're happy for you.
And please let us know.
We honestly are.
Please let us know in the comments.
All right, go ahead.
We're going to come out swinging. Old Granddad, 16 year. This is the 100 proof one. I was over the moon about this when I saw it come out.
I know. And that was on your video that we did at the end of 2023, the first of 2024, that you couldn't wait for this to come out.
Yeah. So I was gearing up towards it. I was really excited. I was ready because I do like Jim Beam, and they had several very good releases this year.
Yeah.
But this one for me, it's like $199. It's a 16 year. It's 100 proof, and it's just okay. Now, part of this, I'm not gonna lie, is probably just my unreal expectations for this that made it more disappointing than maybe it is to some other people.
Right.
But when you take into account, like I haven't had this since we did the video. Well, I was just gonna take a straight pull.
No, just a tiny. I haven't. I have dipped into it once or twice on maybe a ½ ounce, so I have a little bit better, not better, a little bit more familiarity with it than Trent does.
No, it's like slightly sweet, and then it's just like all wood right in your face.
To me, it's not bad. Let's just get that out of the way. For me, okay, for me. Now you, I get the wood. I'm getting it. I'm getting it, especially going to the finish. But to me, it's just like an amped up Old Granddad Bottle and Bond, or I'm sorry, Old Granddad 114. It's just like an amped up version of that. So you can get the 114 for $40 or whatever it is these days, or you have this one for 14 proof less for $200.
What I think they need to do is do the 16 at 114. Because when we did the video, I was thinking of the 114 because the bottle shape's the same, but the 114 isn't necessarily the same. It's just maybe a little bit higher than regular Old Granddad Bottled and Bond 4 years. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
regardless, this was one of my most extremely disappointing releases this year, just kind of all different factors. Please let me know what you think of it. I did just try it again, and it wouldn't have made it.
I think there is differences of opinion all across the board with this one. I've kind of read a lot of different.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I read a little bit into it and a lot of people's comments, and some say, "Yeah, we liked it." Some say, "Are you kidding me?" So
$200.
Yeah. All right. I enjoy all types of whiskey, so this isn't all going to be bourbon. Trent's got a rye or two over there too, so we're going with what we have. I have never owned a Kavalan. I've never owned one. I think it's Taiwanese, I believe, Trent, a Taiwanese whiskey, and a lot of people ask me about it. And I do know that in the reading that I've done, some of their soloist releases are supposed to be pretty spectacular.
Oh, okay.
I've never had one. I've never tasted one.
This is Taiwanese.
Okay, never tasted one. Harry had this, and you know Harry. Hey, we got this.
We got this brand new thing, new and shiny.
And I thought about it was $90, so I didn't think it was, you know, for single malt whiskey or whatever. I didn't think it was, you know, overpriced. But I didn't ever had one. I said, you know, I'll take it because I've never had one. This is their Concertmaster port cask finished, 86 proof. Now, there's no age statement on there at all, but one sip of that, and it was the barley in that bottle. And I will not put a blanket statement on Kavalan because I haven't tasted it. I'm just speaking of that bottle. The barley on that one is rancid to me. As it gets to the middle and the back, I can kind of taste some of the port in there, which, you know, that'll lend a little bit of better flavor to it. But Trenton, that first sip right in the front of the palate, that barley is just not good. It's rancid.
I do get a little bit of the port at the end, but it's like pouring port on like mold or something.
Yeah, it's just. I'm curious of your notes on that barley. I'm sure you can come up with some.
It's like if you poured port on mold.
That malted barley, I don't know. I don't know. It just was not. It just wasn't good at all.
That's not. Yeah.
So for the reasons of being awful, I put it on the list.
Yeah. Well, this next one isn't necessarily awful, not yet. But again, just kind of comes down to the price. Just any single Bookers that came out this year. I said this.
So you're only putting one up there, but you're putting all of them.
I didn't think any one of those was particularly terrible, but the price is going up. The age is staying the same, and it's just okay. Like, why would you buy a 7 year and 9 month old?
Right, they're all late
for
7 years
for $100 when you can get far better stuff for the price. I said this, and I will pay up if I buy another Booker's next year. I'm hoping that they start to increase the quality. Like, maybe just let this age a little bit more and don't put out 4 releases a year. I don't know what the answer is.
Maybe don't put them out at all next year.
Maybe.
Maybe that's the answer too, and then pick back up again when you have a little more age or something. I don't know. Again, like Trent, I don't hate them, but I am not a fan. There's only a few Bookers that I've had that I've really enjoyed, and they're less than how many fingers I have on that hand. So I'm really not the guy to really talk about these. You and Kent, for the most part, Kent's really kind of got a lot of nostalgia with his family and everything as far as Bookers is concerned. Oh, yeah. So even he is saying they're just getting really boring. And I'm on that platform now, Trent, to where, and I said this in the video before, I'm okay with just kind of letting other people get them and get the scuttlebutt a little bit and see what, hey, if everybody starts saying, oh man, this is a really good one, okay, then I'll go see if I can find and try it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no.
Now, if you were talking like $65, kind of like Stag is doing now, or the Stag, I'm still calling it Stag Junior, I don't care, where they're doing like 3 releases now. I think there's like a 23C and something. Okay. Like they're going the way of kind of the more quarterly or tri-quarterly kind of release cycle, like Booker's is with a 4-year. That's more of a discussion at $65 when you're almost double.
True.
You could spend $500 on a Booker's if you buy all 4 in the year.
That's wild.
And they're just not that good.
That's wild when you put it that way.
Yeah. So I'm not buying any next year.
I'm happy for that.
Yeah. For that. Unless I hear from others that there's a really good batch. But like you said,
there you go.
There's 16 up there, and there's like 3 of them that are good.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Anyhow.
All right, bud. Next one I got for you. We didn't even put it on a video, guys. I've got the Angels Envy. Is it Triple Oak? So it's called Triple Oak.
Yep.
Trenton got it, brought it down some time ago to eventually possibly put it on a video. But you didn't even know this because I took a little sip out of it. I'm like, no, I'm not putting that on a video. I'm not going to do it.
I did not know that you tried it.
I did. And remember you brought it down several months ago. It's not god awful. It's not horrible. However, it is extremely woody. I mean, I know it says triple K. I know it. I know it says triple oak. I get it. But to what extent do you want to just add wood on wood on wood? To me, you would have stopped at the second one or something. It just was too much for me personally.
I feel like of all the larger distilleries, this was one of the first ones that kind of went towards like a triple oak that I can remember. I know who is it? Woodford Reserve does their distillery collection. They might have done a little triple oak in those like 375s, did they?
Yeah.
But in terms of
I didn't like that one either though.
No, I didn't either. In terms of a more broad release, kind of like Angel's Envy did, I think this was $80 or $90, something like that. It is, if you like to taste nothing but wood, this is the bottle for you. But there is nothing else going on in it apart from just the wood.
Right.
Maybe a little bit of sweetness, but it's like not very good sweetness.
Yeah, a little bit of that port sweetness is there, but
was there port in that?
Yeah, I think it's just their. You gotta look at it on glasses. I believe it's their normal distillate.
Finished in a blend of Hungarian Chinkapin and French oak barrels. I don't think there's any port in here.
Oh well, then I take that back. I honestly didn't like it that much, or I didn't really look into the bottle to speak of. So.
Yeah, that was a bummer. That was a bummer.
Sorry about that.
This next one, I think we put in a video a little bit earlier this year. I'm gonna, if you want to clear your glass out, I'm gonna give you some of this because this is a must try, and I'm not drinking any of the rest of that Kavalan.
Yeah, I don't.
This is the cream of. I thought I just broke the cork off. This is the cream of Kentucky. This is a bottled and bond rye, barrel 13, bottle 54, 100 proof, $99.99.
So $100.
$100. Yeah.
All right.
And I think this is the first. This is called Double Rick or Double Rich. I can't read cursive very well, so that's probably Double Rick. And there's like a lot of really nice notes on the back here. You got like orange, oak, vanilla, a mid palate ranging from vanilla to tropical fruit and creme brulee with a spice note. It finishes a lingering creamy mouthfeel. It's nasty.
Doesn't smell horrible. That is so bad. Wow. Holy cow, I've never had that. Wow. I'll put that up against Kavalan here, man. That is rough.
I think that's worse than Kavalan.
What is up with that?
It kind of wants to be all of these things, but if you took all of these notes that they're talking about and like aged it in a garbage bag in the hot sun, in a driveway, in the asphalt, in the Arizona heat.
I'd have to agree with him on that. I know that sounds outlandish, but that's rough.
This legit, and I'm not kidding, tastes like garbage.
Yeah.
And I feel bad saying it that like sternly, but this is like it was aged in a garbage barrel or something. There's something wrong with this one.
Yeah, that's bad, buddy. I have to admit.
If anybody has barrel 13, please leave a comment and let me know what you think, because it's possible this barrel was just terrible. But whatever happened to it, I don't know, man.
I doubt you're going to buy another one from another barrel just to find out, are you?
No, I will not, and I will also probably not buy anything more from Cream of Kentucky either.
But that was, wow. I'm glad it was my only sip. All right, guys, the last one I personally have for you. I got to throw in an American single malt, the Clermont Steep out of Jim Beam. This one also is a little bit, there's some people that like it, there's people that don't. So even some of my fellow whiskey YouTubers that I actually, enjoy watching and I trust their opinions, kind of like this one a little bit.
Who? Well, can you divulge?
Well, Phil and Julie. Phil was saying that he was kind of liking it.
Okay.
And which is fine. Honestly, I have zero issues when we do these videos of whiskeys that we generally don't enjoy. I have zero issues with people who truly do enjoy them. Actually, I am happy about that because I would much rather, as a consumer, you purchase something that you're going to enjoy than purchasing something that you're going to hate. But for me personally, and this is just my take on the Clermont Steep, the barley is just way underdeveloped. It seems extremely young product too, on top of it all. And the malted barley in there is just raw to me.
Fishy.
Raw. It's just, to me, it's not palatable for me.
This is the one that we said kind of had a sushi note in one of the blinds. That was the one that Dalton picked.
Yes, it was the one, Dalton. That was our woodworker here at the basement. Yeah, he did pick that one.
And still, it has a little bit of like a seaweed-ish fishiness to it. That is just kind of not good.
No, I kind of pin it on the barley. Whatever their process was, and I think the whiskey's pretty young too.
It's 5-year-old.
Well, that I lied about. It just seems like it to me.
60, but it does.
Tastes that way.
It does, man.
It does taste.
Wow.
I would have put $10 on this bar top before you read that would be like a 2-year product.
I would have thought the same thing. I thought that said 80 months, so I was like, there's no way. I think
I don't know.
this year in particular, I think you saw a lot more heritage distilleries coming out with single malts or American single malts making an attempt. And I think...
Yeah, there's a few over there. I actually thought about putting out the Bullet product. I wasn't a big fan of the Bullet single malt. And truthfully, New Riff came out with a single malt that I wasn't really a fan of.
Yeah.
It didn't reach the level of this one for me personally, but wasn't that big on them.
Yeah, those three would be the ones that I think were kind of misses this year for single malts. That pains me too because I absolutely love New Riff. But if they don't do a good product, they don't do a good product.
Yeah.
Last but not least, where are we at here? Because we're like at an odd number here. It kind of screwed me up. Okay. E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye.
I saw that one coming.
This, it's not a terrible rye, but for Buffalo Trace to come out with something like this that I think is just really incredibly underwhelming.
I had this, but I don't remember.
I would say this is probably like one of the most underwhelming rye I've had this year. Granted, this was I think $120, so we didn't pay anything on secondary for it or anything like that. And this was supposed to be released like 2 years ago, something like that. And it's fine, but it doesn't scream rye to me. It doesn't scream barrel proof to me, and it's just lacking a lot.
Yeah, it seems a little thin. I'll be honest with you. I have an E.H. Taylor rye.
I'd rather have the rye.
And I would rather have that. Again, not horrible though, but I can see, especially you, because that was another one that was on your list that you were chomping at the bit to grab, being the rye whiskey fan that you are.
I told Harry I'd give him my kidney for it.
He did. That's facts. He did.
I might still have the text. If I do, I'll send him to Kyle and he can put it up there, but...
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad.
No.
But it definitely doesn't blow you away.
I think part of my list, I mean, apart from this one, is just more value or hype related as the terms of how I would define a disappointment, whereas yours are like actually not good.
Yeah, that's true.
This one is just not good. But all of these other ones, and when I was coming up with my initial list of like 15, so many of them were like, man, this isn't a $200 bottle. This isn't a $250 bottle. But it's all subjective too.
It is. It's very subjective, but that's basically the title of the video today is our most disappointing whiskeys of 2024. That doesn't mean, that encompasses a lot of different ideas there, a lot of different topics.
It's like, how do you define what to you is a disappointment? For me, a lot of it's just you buy something and you expect the price to match the value, and a lot of times, especially this year, it just didn't. Like these three.
I know.
But, I don't know, man.
That's it. Yeah, it just end up. Everybody's different, like Trenton said. I had our friend Billy. Now, don't take this bad, Billy. He's one of our patrons. What a beautiful guy. But he basically was on Discord and said, I've got a couple of your, he sent me 3 actually, but 2 of them are our picks. He said he's got them a drain pour. Remember? And you said, don't do that. Send them to us or whatever. Well, God love you, Billy. You did, and he said, I want to make sure that somebody enjoys them because I just don't like them. And he sent them to me and I got them. And in the 2 that were our picks, one was an American single malt and the other one was a Still Awesome, which was a Texas whiskey.
Oh.
So what I'm trying to say there is, as Billy moves along with his whiskey journey, he can eliminate some things that don't jive with his palate, which may be Texas whiskey and any single malt type stuff. He might be a bourbon guy only.
Yeah.
I don't know. But to me, I love those 2 picks, and so did you. But that just means that's our palate. And that's Billy's palate. That don't mean somebody's right and wrong. That just means you're an individual and you have a right to like what you do and don't like what you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
very well said.
Right. Yeah, but anyways, thank you, Billy. I'll put those bottles to good use. You better know that. All right, guys, that's all we got for you today. Hang in there. Every Monday and Wednesday, pretty much almost to the end of the year.
Yep.
We'll have our best of. This is the only one that we'll do that's our disappointing. So the rest of them will be the best ofs. So every Monday and Wednesday to the end of the year, we'll have another list for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.